Devin Bush is the heart and soul of the Steelers. Now, I don't really think it's even close because without him, the front four has to get there basically every play when it comes to the run game. And if not, the running back is gone for 5 to 10 yards. And even worse, we'll have to see our DBs trying to tackle. Devin Bush would stop everything dead in its tracks on that second level, and it would make it so much harder for our offense to try to block one of our D-line and then try to block Devin Bush, a fast, athletic, explosive linebacker. And the only part of his game that really needed clear improvement was his pass coverage, and right here, as we see, he was clearly improving in that aspect as well. To say that the Steelers losing Devin Bush was devastating is an understatement because they had now lost their core, that center of the defense that helped the secondary and that front four out so much. He made everything go, and even better, he made it so that when you're in the middle of the field, you have to fear him, and that is just a fact, because if you don't, well, Jerry Jeudy had to find out what happens the hard way. Before the injury, Devin Bush was looking like another Steelers fast, freaky, athletic, physical linebacker, and this may be a bold thing to say. I think he's the most talented one, with only being 22 coming into his third season. His improvement from year 1 to year 2 was obviously clear to me as well, because while he's not the best coverage linebacker, he showed that he wanted to improve, and again, at only 22 years old, he stepped up to that role to take on all the responsibility in that middle of the field, while also being the communicator for the Steelers. Even on plays where he wasn't necessarily in on, he was still making a big impact by delaying what the offense was trying to do with getting to that second level, and before you would even know it, he was there, or one of our D linemen were there. And I think the beautiful thing about it is they really had to stress where Devin was, and anybody could be coming from any which way at any time, which is what made this defense so dangerous, because the D-line and Vince Williams were more aggressive because Devin Bush could clean up their mess if anything went wrong. But without him, it's super hard, because as we see in this wildcard game, there's no security at all on that second level. You're practically asking your D-line and outside linebackers to get there on every play, which is impossible, and it's going to get them worn out or injured, which Alex Highsmith in this game did get injured before he could even make it to the second half. And this is no hate to our middle linebackers, but we were just so thin at that position at the later end of the year, we had to put Terrell Edmunds in at times. Here is a perfect example. Robert Spillane really doesn't get off this block, and I don't know why the D-line is leveraged in that way. It's really just only helping the Browns, but this run is designed to go through the middle, and I think the Browns knew that without Devin Bush, it was a much different ball game from week 6. Now, I could name a lot of other reasons why we lost that wildcard game, like Keith Butler, but that's another conversation for another day. And Devin Bush's injury clearly played a huge role on our defense not being as good, especially the run defense, because as we see here, this running back gets a little bit of space, but before he can even think about getting to the DBs, Devin Bush gets off that block and pounces on him like a black cat. I mean, this man is very explosive and was taken at the 10th overall pick for a reason. Right here, he's going to come on a blitz, and Devin Bush is not going to stop pursuing you until he has you on the ground, and a lot of the times this would make the running back have an extra sense of fear factor, because Devin Bush was always going to be around the play. A little bit of hope for 2021 is 1, Matt Canada, and 2, Devin Bush, because while some people may think we took a lot of hits in free agency, the biggest positive we have coming for us is Devin Bush returning, as right here the left guard tries to see who he's trying to block before this play even starts, and he realizes it's Devin Bush, but he's not fast enough to even get to Devin, and Devin just flies right by him to go and make this tackle on David Johnson. These are the little things, but it's still really important. I think people forget how much our defense was different with Devin Bush instead of somebody like Rob Robert Spillane starting. No offense to Robert Spillane. I think he can be a good number 2 linebacker. Again, I think people don't realize how good our defense could have been if Devin Bush didn't go down. And it's easy to forget about him because he did get injured in week 6. But people will realize how much of a difference he made when he returns week 1. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and that's it from me on this one. Peace.